seems to be better. Good morning. I'll say hey as you come in. But I gotta find you. Facebook just is sending out the notice now, I think. There it is. There it is.
Oop, there it is.
Oh, Lord.
Oop.
Good morning, everyone. Please say hey when you come in, or hi, or, you know,
Here.
Not that.
No.
Good morning, Dunk. How are you? Hey, Joyce. Hi, Micah. Good to see y'all this morning.
Okay, we gotta move that.
Yeah. I'm going to try not to shake the table. I don't know why I've been doing that this morning.
I might try it.
Please don't. Hi, Annette. Hey, Cindy. How are you? Let me get another drink.
Oh, don't make me spit hot tea.
Y'all, I don't know why, but I've been up since 3:15. This is not me. I don't do early mornings. I used to, but I got out of that bad habit. We are. Good morning, Ted. Excited to see you in just over a couple weeks.
For 18 days now.
18 days?
I think.
Wow. I'm good, Cindy. Hey, Anita, how are you? Hi, Stacy. I hope y'all all had an amazing weekend. We did. Good morning, Liz. How are you?
Yes, good morning, everyone.
This coffee mug, Joyce? Yeah, I do too. I got it from somebody local that does pottery. And I like, because it holds a lot of coffee, like for coffee with Drea or those cold
Jan
mornings.
Brown Cook, good morning.
Good morning, Jan.
And
From Wild
Sandy.
and Wonderful.
You got your 6 shooters on?
Good morning, Sandy.
Aww.
Sandy and I have already been in touch this morning.
I've been in touch with my
The
balls.
wind down for the event is definitely in effect, and all those last minute things that you needed other people to do their part so you could do your part starting to happen, and we're just gonna do things our way. Hi, Sherry, how are ya?
We're gonna do things
And Miss Fonda, hi, and Vicky.
We're gonna do things the Dre way, is what we're gonna do.
Oh, we're gonna do them the Dre way.
Yes.
Huh.
Hey,
It's good to see you too. Hi, Donna. Hey, Sheila Schofield. How are you this morning? So today I decided we would talk about the importance of friendship.
Oh, Lord.
I know. Deanna's like, great.
Oh,
when I'm
thanks,
here.
Heather.
Hey, Heather.
I'm going back to bed. See y'all. Have a good
Nah.
life.
No. I told her, you got to be at least physically present at this Monday morning. Good morning, Jean. Thank you for saying that. That always makes me feel good. She always calls me Sweet Pea, which is my birth flower, and I just think it's cute.
Sweet Pea is cute.
It is cute. And they're pretty little delicate flowers, unlike me.
I think mine's really
I'm not very delicate. I don't know. I don't know them all. I know
think
mine.
May's Lily of the Valleys.
So, why in the world friendship? Well, I'll tell you. Part of the reason is, Deanna's been gone, I think a little over 3 months, which doesn't seem like very long. It seemed a lot longer because she accomplished so much during that time. And when she got here, we caught up, and then yesterday we started finishing, or Saturday, we started finishing each other's sentences or saying, get out of my head, that kind of thing. And it got me to thinking about, well, how blessed I am to have the friendships that I have. Good morning, Miss Georgie Lee. Your friend is your coffee, Micah. Amen. Good morning. Good morning, Nadine.
Yes, and Georgie.
Hi, Kathleen. And so I thought, maybe we should talk about the importance of friendship. We've had discussions about friends and having them versus not having them. Being hurt by them and therefore not being open to new friendships, that kind of thing. But I figured we would make a discussion out of it this week. So please, let's have an interchange of encouragement. Good morning, Avanel. Good morning.
Hey, Cheryl.
My daughter has a double mastectomy November 16th, and my middle son was displaced from his job Monday. Had a lot back pain going on. Please lift us in prayers. Let's see. God knew all of this was ahead of us. Yes, he did. And he will be there and help you through it. No matter what.
Prayers with you and for y'all.
Yes. We will definitely add you to the prayers.
Yeah, I don't have my thing out here to copy and paste. And somebody put it, there was a couple people that put prayers in the power.
Good morning, Deanna Gibson.
And I looked at them. I haven't had a chance to do anything with them yet, but definitely y'all are in our prayers. Yes. Somebody was having surgery today. Mm-hmm. And I forget what the other one was. I'm sorry, but we're definitely praying for whoever is posting in the power of prayer.
The power to be you.
The power to be you.
Oh. Good morning, Donna.
See, now you made me forget what my thing is. The power to be you.
Haha, yes. She says she's supposed to be at work. Hey, Patty Gillespie, how are you?
Good morning.
So, in the times we live in, it's kind of difficult for a lot of people to get together with their friends. And so we find ourselves relying more and more on our social media, online friends, or being in contact that way, which, as you know, is different. It's not the same as being in person. Now, I am
Deanna.
Deanna Gibson.
Yes, yeah, I just saw that.
Sorry. I am a terrible friend. You used to be able to call me and I could spend time talking to you, etc. My life has changed so much in the last couple of years that I don't spend hardly any time on phone conversations. We text or message a lot. Good morning, Marla. Good morning, Lori. Speaking of friends.
Your 3 days Micah, I feel you.
Good for you, Micah. Today starts new.
Awesome.
Good morning, Michelle Joseph. You have a blessed day as well.
Yes, and definitely prayers for Michelle and her husband.
Yes.
With the passing of his father.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
They are traveling tomorrow instead of today. It has been delayed a day. But yes, we definitely want to keep our beautiful, lovely, darling little cupcake, Michelle Razzo Redding, and her family. And her husband, William, it was his father that passed, as they traveled to Tennessee and deal with all the things you deal with a loss like that. Good morning, Sue Tinsley. So, when I was, praying about this, God's like, yeah, talk about friendship. That's kind of the message I got, because he didn't give me anything else. So I figured, okay, you must be good with this. But you know what I found?
What'd you find?
I read that a 2009 Dutch study found that most friendships only last 7 years.
Really?
Isn't that interesting? I thought that was really interesting. And another study by some psychologists said that we have an average in our lifespan of 150 what we would call friends versus acquaintances. That's interesting, right?
You said Dutch, though, right?
The initial one was the Dutch study. The second one was done by some psychological group, but I don't remember. So, But good morning, Debbie Davis. Seeing you soon.
Hey, Sherry.
Anyway, so I thought, well, that's a little disheartening. But as I looked back, kind of tried to look back, as much as you can, as much as you can remember. Good morning, Stacy.
Oh, Stacy, prayers for you today, sweetie.
Oh, yes. Lori, you can't help it. You cannot help it right now.
I might run out.
And those of us that are your friends, we get that.
But I don't have a Porsche passport to get to Canada. Loretta.
Yeah, 150 does seem like a lot, but that's in your lifetime. So it's also talking about the friends that we have when we're young, elementary, junior high, high school, God forbid, and college as well. So I guess when you think about it, that number may be a little bit exaggerated, but maybe not so much. People we work with, those kinds of people. I have friends still from my teen years and dear friends that we've had for 20 years. Sherry, she cleaned out her craft room. She's overwhelmed by Christmas. Oh, girl, I feel that for sure. And so I thought maybe we need to talk about what it takes to be a friend. Because a friendship, much like a relationship, I hate when cities and states call me.
Tell them stop it.
Right? And what are friends for, right? What are they good? Sandy, can you read hers? Let's see if I can.
One thing we need to remember of friendship and social media is not to read too much into statements made and not made on social media. It can lead one down a rabbit hole. Amen to that. The other person may not be aware of the negative feeling you may be having. If in doubt, pick up the phone and ask. A true friend will appreciate the call to clarify. Do not let it fester. It will become bigger. I included need to take this advice off and on also.
Yes, absolutely, Jan. Put it simply, to have a friend, you got to be a friend. I mean, friends, close friends in particular. There's a mosquito flying around me. Dadgummit. The cool has passed, I guess. Anyway, a good friend, is going to celebrate the good times with you. They're also going to be your cheerleader. They're going to support you in bad times. Listening is important in friendship. Oh, look at Stacy. She's got friends from when she was born.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. And listening to each other. Sometimes I may need to purge or vent or whatever. Yes, Lori, that is absolutely true. Of course, they got to know they did something wrong. Sometimes
exactly.
We don't even know we've done something or said something or whatever, or left them out of something. So a good friend would say, hey, you hurt my feelings. And then the other friend would say, really? How? Couldn't be me? No.
Some
would
friends
apologize.
don't say that stuff, though.
Yeah. But it is important. And that, of course, would be another important part about friendship. That's communication. You have to be able to talk to one another and listen. Not just hear, but listen. Sometimes when I'm venting or purging to a close friend, I'm not asking them to fix anything. I'm not even asking for advice. I'm just saying, hear me out. I gotta spew so that I'm done with it, right? Good morning, Linda.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I do need advice. Sometimes my friends kick me in the butt. Or they'll remind me of things that I need reminding of. Like I up until a few years ago, I was not a procrastinator. I never understood that. I always felt like if it needs to be done, get it done and move on, right? And I don't know what happened to me. I guess I got overwhelmed and busy quickly, and it was just easier to put some things off. Well, I'll tell you what, one of those things that we have a tendency to put off is our friendships. What do you mean, Dre? Well, when you're younger, before you're married and have children and have jobs, it's easy for your friends to be in the front lines, for you to call them or go do things with them all the time, right? You start getting married, having a job, having children. And as we say, that's right, life gets in the way. And so when you're trying to prioritize your time, friendships seem to be the one that gets pushed to the back burner because you got to be the mom, the wife, the employee or employer. You have groceries to buy, clothes to wash. All the things of daily living get in the way. And we forget to nurture our friendships during that time because, well, we don't have time, right? But I have found that you got to make the time. I'll give you an example. Like I said earlier, Deanna has been gone around 3 months or so. Probably we've talked on the phone 5-7 times maybe.
Oh, it wasn't even that many. Not on the phone, in person.
We message each other. How you doing? Hope you're doing okay. How's the move coming? How's TDR plans going? That kind of thing. Quickly, so that we're keeping in touch. And ultimately, that is the important part. That you're keeping in touch some way, somehow.
Unless you're having a bad day and you text one and you're wanting to talk and you ask a question and you get this one answer to be like, oh, they don't like me no more.
That's when you got a wah friend.
I know, right? That'd be me sometimes.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely. I can be either friend.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes. But that's when we need to remind ourselves to make a little time. Just to keep in touch. Keep the lines open. Let them know you're thinking about them. Let them know you care. We all know. Loretta lives not far from me. And unless she's coming here to work or we have, a special weekend planned or something, I don't see her as often as people think. We might talk on the phone once every other week or so. Maybe once a week, depending on the circumstance, situation. And Loretta and I have been friends 40 plus years. So, but we both know we're there. We have nurtured that friendship. We've had ups and downs in it. She's been mad at me, I'm sure. I've been mad at her, I'm sure. No, I can't remember being mad at her, but, she's the calm friend. Me either, Lori.
She is a calm one.
Yeah, so she's very, what's the word? Not accepting, but whatever that word is I'm thinking of. She just lets things go. She doesn't let anything fester.
She's very easygoing.
Mm-hmm. But our friendship has been nurtured all these years. Raising kids, both of us having jobs, sometimes 2 jobs, etc. So it's up to you. But you know what? It's not up to you alone. It's up to both of you. Just like in a marriage. Jan Brooke says she's glad. Jan Brooke. I combined your middle and last name. Jan Cook. Yeah.
I know, I feel bad because I
good morning, Nellie.
Got to go up and see her with everything going on. Just went so fast. I kept wanting to meet her and the one that lives in Mount Gilead.
Well, life happened quickly for you.
I know it.
It's one of the most important things you have to have in a friendship is trust. The trust where, trust where you can tell them anything. And know without a shadow of a doubt that they will honor and respect you by maintaining the confidentiality.
Yeah, sorry. I will bust out laughing.
Don't. By maintaining confidentiality. I've said it before. Friendships end. But during that friendship, you shared secrets. You shared feelings that you didn't need to share with the world. If your friendships ends, be an honorable person and keep your mouth shut. You don't have to go telling the secrets of your former friend. No. You don't have to publicly or privately even talk about them in an ugly way. It doesn't work. It doesn't work for you. It doesn't work for them. And it's not fair because then what that means is you don't know how to be a friend. Even when a friendship ends, what happened inside of that friendship stays there forever. That makes you honorable. That means you respected them and yourself enough to maintain that confidence. The same thing when a marriage ends. Don't go out there and tell all your former spouse's secrets. They're their business and your business. Nobody really needs to know. And honestly, nobody cares. They just like listening to gossip. But they don't really care
Thank you,
what
Jan.
happens. So keep that confidentiality. And that is part of being a good friend. And the one thing I love about my close friends is that I'm comfortable enough that I can be me even in my bad moments without them judging me. If I have an evening where I'm really ticked off and I start spouting off ugly words, they look at me like, what? But they don't judge me for it. They're like, okay, she's having a moment. Let's let her have her moment. She'll get over it quickly. And y'all, just like any other relationship, and several of you have said it already, it takes two. You both have to work to keep the friendship nurtured and growing, or else it ends. Sometimes they end quickly. I've had friends that I considered friends only for a couple of years.
And those are the ones that are for a reason and a season.
Right.
Because,
a lesson or a blessing.
Yes.
Probably a lesson.
There's a reason. Carla Lyons, good morning. Glenda says, I always enjoy hearing you talk.
Uh-oh.
Sherry said, I would like to thank you all for all the prayers for my friend Michelle and her granddaughter. She is on her way to pick her granddaughter up to bring her home after 2 months in state's care. God has answered our prayers and given her another chance to be a teenager and make right choices. Drea, you and Deanna are truly an inspiration and a blessing. Thanks to the prayer warriors, God is good. Amen.
He is good.
That's
He's good
prayer
all
support.
the time.
Yes. Amen to that.
Sometimes we don't see the answer to the prayer. Sometimes they seem unanswered. But I'm so happy. Thank you for that testimony.
Yes.
It's an important reminder for all of us that it really does matter.
He's there even when we think he's not there.
And he's answering prayers
yes.
one way or another.
Yep.
Hey, Alan, how are you?
Is that Mr. Reed?
Yeah, it was good to see
Hello.
he came by the other day while we were live. Well, we were at the end of the live. Oh, Alan, you forgot something. Well, actually, something fell out of your vehicle when you left. We have it. We'll send it with Avenel when she comes by. Okay, now.
Late bit here.
Y'all.
You're never late, Virginia.
A reason for a reason and or a season, as Deanna said. Also, are they there for a lesson and a blessing, or a lesson or a blessing? Very often they're a blessing in the beginning, and then it doesn't turn out so much. But if you think about it,
all right, I got you, Alan. Lori, that's sad.
What?
Lori, she lost her best friend of 30 plus years as she couldn't deal with her success in business. It really sucked because there was nothing I could do. Hopefully she just needs time. If it's meant to be, she'll be back.
It's been a little while. I'm sorry, Lori. That is difficult. But
when
and maybe you were her blessing, and she is your lesson. But very often our friendships begin as a blessing. Sometimes they get tarnished pretty quickly for whatever reason. And my thing is, and I believe this with family members too. This is me and my beliefs, okay? I believe that if someone is more negative for you than they are positive for you, this is not about them, this is about you, you got to let it go. Let it be a lesson. And therein the blessing is the lesson.
You have to be strong in your
Good morning, Wanda.
Positivity and knowing who you are and what you are to be around somebody that is constantly negative, because they can suck that out of you in a minute. Yeah,
absolutely. And the just like positivity breeds positivity, negativity breeds negativity. And also, if you spend so much time with a negative person, you know, it's like putting a fresh apple and a rotten apple together. The rotten one's going to win, and you're going to begin to rot. Same thing in relationships, really.
But you know, in Lori's case, it does suck that she lost that friend of 30 plus years. But Lori, on the other side of it, you could look at, you lost one, but how many have you gained since then? It still hurts.
And it may come back around.
Yes.
It may just do that at some point. I hope so for you. Remember, though, your friends are worth your time and effort. When you are busy with, like Lori, building a major international company, you 24/7, 365.
Eat, drink, sleep it.
That's right. You're building your business. And what time you do have, you're raising your family and building relationships with your spouse and your kids. And, so sometimes our friendships do take a back seat. Jealousy, but you know what? Involved. We jump back up in the front seat at some point.
Yeah.
At some point.
You're correct, Virginia.
What'd she say?
When you marry someone outside of your culture, you find out who your friends really are.
True.
That's true. That's a lot of judgments that goes on there. Dana told Lori, a true friend would have jumped up and down for joy. I'm absolutely thrilled for you and Dave.
She probably did. Was happy for Lori. She just couldn't deal with the way the relationship changed, because now Lori wasn't free to come and go just whenever, but she had to focus on her business. And that, I would imagine that more than anything, because I don't know, a friend of 30 plus years, I don't see the jealousy thing happening there. I could be wrong. But I feel like in this case, from the way Lori explained it, it was more about not having free access to her.
Well, jealousy of, it's like when you have somebody that you think you're really tight with, and then somebody comes in. There are people that, like when three are together, usually there's one that's always jealous of the other two, and then the other one's jealous of the other two.
I know. Lori and Michelle are always jealous of me.
I think I'm going to go throw up right now.
Lori said at first she did, but then everything changed and I was traveling and had no time. So see, she was happy for her, but then she didn't have
time for her.
The tightness with Lori.
Yeah.
That's a shame. Lori, I just know someday in the future, she's going to come back. When she will. That kind of friendship, I just feel sure. There wasn't anything ugly there. And besides, you're such an amazing person. Who wouldn't want to be your friend? I am constantly thankful for our friendship.
That's why Lori's our rock star.
She is our rock star. And we know her.
Yeah.
And
Lori, that is one. Lori is Lori. What you see is what you get.
Absolutely.
That's Lori. So that is
And
cool.
we don't care that we don't have her 24/7. We get it. So for us, it's easy because we have the not the same crazy busy, because, I'm just a blip on the radar. But I will tell you this, that if ever I'm having a bad day or some bad news comes my way, I can message Lori and within no time she responds back and tells me whatever it is. Depending on what the subject is. She gets mad at people that are not, that have let me down, I should say. She doesn't stop liking these people. They don't stop being friends. But on our level, she is really a good friend. Okay. Enough of that.
That is true, and it's hard when you outgrow a friend.
Not isn't it though? And that's what, when I was looking back at some of the, not the acquaintance type friendships, but the real friendships that I've had over the years, there's been a lot of times where I was an awful friend. Yes, awful. And there were times when I was a really great friend. But that's when I realized the lesson and blessing thing, that they were a blessing, or I was a blessing, or we were a blessing for each other for the time that we needed it. And then a lot of these friendships, for whatever reason, fell to the wayside. Nobody's fault, really. Sometimes there was a fault, but nobody's fault, really. It just is, what in the world is happening? My charger. Look, I'm going to put y'all to the ceiling for a second.
Oh, see,
hopefully that
that
helps.
ceiling looks awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
Peanut, stop.
I'm sorry. It was telling me my battery, but I got it plugged in. It's silly. Whatever.
Is it still saying it?
Yeah, it's charging again, so
okay.
We'll see. For faster charging, use the charger that came with your phone.
That is true.
And make sure the cable isn't damaged. Thank you, friend. I don't know. Let me see if I pull this down a little bit. If it won't pull on it, maybe.
All right, well, you're doing that.
You're going to read to me?
Yeah.
Okay, read to me. I like that.
Sorry if I missed anybody's. Sandy says, jealousy is so negative, we need to celebrate each other, our success, our talents, and our abilities to help others in so many ways. Mm-hmm. Laughter is way more fun as our virtual hugs. Mm-hmm. Stacy says, it does happen. I had a friend since 6th grade, and she told me a few years ago, everything was always about Stacy. Everyone always told me, why can't you be more like Stacy? She even said every man she was dating said it. And then she accused me of cheating on my ex-husband. We ended up not speaking to each other, and she passed away last year. I feel bad, but she was jealous.
Dang, Stacy, you must be one hell of a woman. Everybody wanted you.
Jan says there are friends too that we have that we might not speak in 6 months or more, but pick right back up where we were never apart. That family. Not just friends. That's family, not just friends. That is true. I have a friend over 40 years that I met when I started working in my early days. That we could go years without talking, and then something will happen and we'll speak, and it's just like it was where it left off whenever we spoke so many years ago. So it's there.
It is.
Michelle Joseph says Satan is at work this morning.
Oh, no.
I'm praying you're not getting attacked.
Oh, let me tell you something. Deanna gets into that warfare thing. She'll pray for you. Amen. She'll pray him right out of there.
Sheila Schofield, sorry I got to jump off. I have to get ready and go to physical therapy. You have a great physical therapy.
Yes, have a great physical therapy and a wonderful day.
Leslie, you're correct. God brings people into your life for a reason, usually a lesson. Now, then you have to decide, is the lesson for them or for you? Guess what? It's for both. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And two, sometimes, our friends that we've made over the years that have gone, for whatever reason, maybe we and or they serve the purpose that we had in that friendship. Somebody said it earlier, I think, that sometimes friends outgrow one another. Mm-hmm. And that is true.
Thank God we don't have any Karens in this group. Virginia Wilson said.
We don't have any Karens.
They get booted if we have Karens in this group.
I don't do Karen.
Unless it's something we need to pray about. That's
well, yeah. And you always do pray for them.
Yes, you do.
And the other thing, I think a
Dara.
lot of us have, I don't want to say the word victim, but I'm pray. No, that's not a good word. Well, let me just say victim, and then I'll think of a better word. A lot of us in today's world, especially the last 2 years with the COVID thing, we have built a lot of friendships online. We must be careful. We must be careful because those friendships can be artificial friends. Mm-hmm. I've been very blessed. That is part of the reason I really enjoy having meetups and having events and things like that. I really enjoy meeting somebody in person and go, whoo, she's just who I thought she was, that kind of thing. But it's up to us to be careful. So here's the thing. When you make an online friend or a social media friend, they're not all artificial people. But don't divulge your deepest, darkest secrets right away. Build that friendship.
Unless you want it out there all over.
Because you don't know.
Morning, monkey.
Hey, beautiful.
Thinking of you, girlfriend.
Speaking of friends.
Y'all be safe when you start traveling.
That's tomorrow.
So that's why I said when she starts traveling.
So make sure, even on the online friendships, that you have an open line of communication with them. Those of us who go live, you get to see us and get to hear our voices and our expressions.
Yes, monkey.
Yeah, that's right. You were out of town. She got in Friday night. And so you kind of have an advantage over those of us that don't. Teeny says you sure don't, and they will burn you and smile doing it. Sick people. Yeah. There's a lot of...
Your online presence with people, I mean...
Well, it's so much easier to misunderstand online.
But then the people that you meet in real life...
can do the same thing.
They can do the same thing. And sometimes it's hard. I don't know.
Told you we finish each other's sentences.
If you don't have that intuition, spiritual... don't take this the wrong way, y'all. But sometimes when you click with a person. And then when it's like, I'm going to have to watch you and be around you a little bit.
There's people, what I'll say, and Deanna's heard it, I don't know how many times. What was that? What will I say, Deanna?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, y'all, it'll have to come back to me. Oh, I'll say, well, I really like them, I think, but there's something
off a little bit.
Something I'm just not warming up to. That's my indicator. Slow your roll, Dre. Get to know them. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes that off-puttingness, whatever, it turns out not to be anything.
Right,
it's just us being cautious.
It's an energy that
I'm not catching.
Yeah, you're not catching. Yeah. Some of it is like poof, you just got electrified. There's some that's like, ooh, that's not bad. And then there's some that's like, really not feeling any juice coming from this one.
You're right, Jan. She says Satan and his demons can wear people.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Absolutely. You just learn, don't purge everything at once to somebody that you just met that you feel, unless you need to purge it, but be careful because what you purge will then go to other people. So don't say anything you don't want nobody else to know.
Yes, Kimberly,
about.
Trust your intuition.
Yes.
We are, thankfully, women seem to have a little extra sixth sense, if you will.
A little more sensitivity.
Yeah, and get a gut feeling about things. The problem is we don't always follow our gut because we don't trust it. We need to trust it. Time will tell. Spend some time with somebody, talk with them, whatever. But this applies not only to friendships outside the family, but also friendships inside the family. Sometimes you just have to let it go. You have to.
All right, here's a question.
Yes.
Michelle Joseph, the one that I have a feeling Satan is messing with. I have a best friend of 30 years. Life has distanced us at times. I had a stroke at 51 and seizures. Can't drive because of them. I have to wait for people to come and visit or talk on the phone. Know that I craft and I'm very busy at times or I'm not up to company. I heard she is very upset with me, but she always talks about herself and gets on my nerves. How do I handle it? Let her get a voicemail. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. A lot of prayer right there.
Well, the first thing, hey, Jimmy, the first thing I would say is understand what you want out of that friendship. Do you want that friendship? Do you need that friendship? That's the first thing. And is the problem exaggerated by your inability to get around? I'll tell you a story about a friend real quick. Her name was Nilda.
She's coming on Wednesday and I'm looking forward to it, but she feels guilty. So her friend must be coming up Wednesday.
Oh.
So, see, and not
could you tell? Is she the kind of friend you could tell that you feel like it's kind of one way? No, because...
But see, it's hard not knowing that side of the friendship. You know, did life get in her way? Or is she upset because Michelle's been having medical issues that limits our friendship? But if it seems
she's not
like
the
it's
kind
all
you
about
could talk
her,
to about it, no. Wow, that's a great question. Let me tell you about Nelda real quick. Now, the fact that you can't talk to this friend, this story would be a little different. So, Nelda and I, and Loretta too, we were friends since we were in our, we were 15 years old, I guess, right in that area. And we did lots of things together. She'd come out to my house, I'd go stay at hers when we were teenagers. Then we were adults. And we continued our friendship. And about, I guess about the time we were in our mid 30s, 33 to 35, right in there, I was tired one day. And I told her, I said, look, you call me every day. And every day it's the same thing. You ask for my advice. I give you my advice. You don't follow it. You have the same problem. The next day you call back. I said, Nelda, I feel like we need to put our friendship on hold. We're going different directions. And I don't understand what it's like to be a single woman in her 30s, because she was single at that point. And so I told her we were going to have to take a break from our friendship. That break lasted maybe 10 years even. That doesn't mean we never spoke over that 10-year period, but not often.
Write down Michelle Joseph for me, please.
Sure.
I need to get on that one here later.
Okay. And then one day, she called me out of the clear blue. It's a limited friendship. She called me, and I don't remember what it was about. It was something, I don't know, some information. And so we talked. And then we talked again, and then we talked again. And our friendship was somewhat rejuvenated. We saw each other a couple of times. And then I got the phone call. She had passed away at 44 years old. And it was, she was on dialysis. She was on a drug, prednisone, so she couldn't get on the transplant list. You have to be off of that for like 6 months before they'll accept you on the transplant list. I think she was like a week away. It was very close. She got pneumonia, and she died. So I can tell you, when Loretta and I went to that funeral, I was so relieved that we had talked and seen each other a few times and talked about what had happened before. But because we had a nurtured friendship prior to that conversation in our 30s, we both knew our friendship wasn't over. We just had to give it a rest for a while. Like I said, we were going different directions. Mm-hmm. My ideas and ideals were different than hers at that stage in life, and I couldn't be Dear Abby every day.
You are Dear Abby. What are you talking about?
Yeah, well, it was tough raising four little youngins.
Awesome.
What?
Her husband has the gift of discernment, and he'll warn me about someone I don't see, but he's usually right.
My ex-husband was like that. My current husband is not like that, because he's friends with everybody.
He doesn't know stranger.
It doesn't even matter.
Let's see what else we got.
Good morning, Cheryl Brock. How are you? Michelle, I'm so sorry, by the way, about that. But being a limited friendship, you might just have to take it as it is. Especially if you don't feel comfortable talking to her about how you're feeling. Maybe you should try to talk over her.
Maybe you should
talk about you.
Tell her to, back up, Buttercup. Quit talking about what's wrong with me and look in the mirror. Mm-hmm. You gotta have a strength for that, though.
Well, and you have to have a certain kind of friendship. Oh, good. Micah says, Oh, it's already gone up. Do you see what Micah said to Michelle?
Yeah, wait a minute. She says, I had a friend like that, not easy at all. Very self-centered. Yeah, I've had some of them. In the off chance we do run into each other, now we speak, but that old friendship as it was is not there. You have my prayers, girl.
There you go. Oh, Cheryl, I'm so glad to hear it. She's going out of town to visit a friend.
Awesome.
That's going to be awesome for you. Hey, Julia.
Somebody in here says a stroke changes your brain.
It does. Some more than others.
Yeah. T says, my intuition is not working because I was not taught to mistrust. Back in the day, people had a conscience and scruples. Yeah, not today. Well, some do. Yeah, no, it's like a all about me world.
And we have to be careful that we don't make it all about us either.
That's true.
Because that can happen. And
but if your friendship's good enough, you can tell them to back up, Buttercup.
Deanna has no problem telling me chill out.
Okay, to a degree. I get this look on Drea's
Loretta
face.
doesn't
like,
do that. She's...
But I have a mouth and I use it. That's my problem.
I do too. We just use it differently.
True. True.
Yes, it has, Julia. It has become a very me society. I lost 22-year-old. Kathy!
I'm so sorry, Kathy.
Oh, my goodness. I am so very sorry.
Oh.
That's much like losing your own child.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so sorry for your loss.
Look here, Roomy. Whatever, Deanna.
Who said that?
Murray.
I'm writing this down.
Hey,
Kathy.
we're real. We have feelings, too.
She ain't got no feelings.
Oh.
I'm writing.
Kathy's?
Yeah, so I pray for the family.
Let's see. I have to stop and listen to my friends purposely in that way. It's not all about me.
And it does, sometimes, okay.
But
That's
then
the
you
thing
have the
about a
friends.
friendship. Sometimes it's about you. Sometimes it's about them. But the thing is, it needs to be, you give 100%, they give 100%. I get it when...
Me too, Lori.
What?
I have a problem speaking and then the thinking. I do too. I'd be like, oh, did I just come out of my mouth?
Yeah, you forget, you put your mouth in gear before putting brain in motion.
I'm sorry, sometimes I have no filter.
Yeah. Oh, you're not as rough as you think.
Okay, depends on you. It depends on who. Yeah, well, okay.
Lori hates all the injustice and unfairness and jealousy in the world, and there's so much of it. And in her position now, she's
like
the one that people attack
Yes.
that are unjust and jealous too.
Yep.
It's so sad. Just tell me who. I've got a bad.
Oh, Kylie. Divorce is settled. Time to start my new life. Thank you.
Kylie, can I just say, we followed through this whole process. You're moving out and everything. I am so very proud of you.
Yes.
When I was editing my book this morning, I actually thought of you because I was going over the divorce part where I went through that divorce. And I thought, wow, but I was nowhere near as strong as Kylie. So I'm glad. I'm so proud.
Yes.
Man, it's tough.
One step at a time, though. Don't rush it.
And divorce takes grieving. Even if you wanted it, even if it's for your better and best interest, you grieve the loss.
Oh, Tina, you're sweet. Thank you.
Yeah, you are lucky to have me, and don't you forget it, sister.
Back at you, Buttercup.
And me, her, and Loretta call ourselves sister wives.
Yes.
Because, and me and Deanna are not Robert's favorite. It's Loretta.
Loretta is the favorite.
And we've decided, because Loretta never lives here long enough. That's the kind of friendship the three of us have.
I think the difference is you and I will speak to him about certain things. I'll be like, whoa, time out. What?
Yeah,
Loretta's
that's not going to happen, mister.
Loretta's kind of like, can I get
Really?
you coffee?
That sounds exciting.
I love Loretta.
Yeah, we do love Loretta.
I can honestly say this is the first friendship with 3 ladies.
No issues.
With no issues or no jealousy.
It's really weird, isn't it?
It is weird.
We've talked about that many times because rare is the time. Maybe when you're in college and you got your sorority sisters and y'all grow old together. But to have come together at different ages, different stages of our lives. Well, maybe same stage and age, but you know, after having lived life, we are very blessed. Deanna said it. Loretta has every reason to be jealous. We've been friends 40 plus years, and we know each other, all of each other's secrets, and all of that, and immediately accepted Deanna and connected with her the way I did. And so we were very, very blessed to have this 3-way friendship.
And our love languages are all different. In the beginning, it was like, I'd watch Loretta because you need something, and Loretta's like already bringing it to you or doing it. And it's like, and then I feel bad. It's like, well, I should have known that about Drea. I should have got it. It's like, that's not my love language. So I did have to learn that Loretta's got to do Loretta, I got to do me, and Dre's got to do her. And then we just kind of meld together.
You know, when I understood, this is so sad, about, I don't know, 10 years ago, is when I understood what Loretta's love language actually was. We were on a 2-week girls trip. We used to rent this huge house in Emerald Isle, North Carolina. There were 8 of us that shared the house. And Loretta and I were in the kitchen, and we were cooking. We were doing something, I don't know. And she was making something for me. I think she was making me a glass of tea or a mixed drink or something. And I was like, Loretta, stop it. Stop taking care of me. I want this vacation to be for you. You need a vacation. You don't have to serve me. Just serve you. And she looked at me like I broke her freaking heart.
Yep. I get to see
Jessie
that.
said to me right then and there, Mom, stop it. That's Loretta's love language. That's her way of showing you how much she loves you. If she wants to bring you a dang drink, just let her. I learned a valuable lesson that day, and it changed everything. And I yelled at her. She has never yelled at me, ever. I've yelled a few times. But I was really mean. But I wasn't mean because I was mad at her. I was mean because I had planned this trip, and I brought her on this particular trip. I paid for her to go because I knew I knew she needed a break from stuff that was going on in her family at the time. And I just wanted her to relax and take it easy and not worry about anything. And I screwed it up big time.
You busted her bubble.
I did, but I did make amends. I did apologize and did tell her I didn't understand it until Jessie said that. And then it was like, that's absolutely right. My love language was seeing she needed to go on this vacation and taking her, right? Her love language during that particular time was to take care of me, and she still does to this day. Wherever we go, whatever we do, she always makes sure that I'm taken care of.
Yeah, so you just ask Marie. She's seen all 3 of us in action.
Yeah.
Marie says you 3 are blessed. That is obvious.
We really are. We really are. And I know that it's rare. And we all know it's rare. And
it's weird rare.
Mm-hmm. It is.
All right, Michelle Joseph. At first I thought it was me and blamed myself for feeling the way I did. Then others would talk and say, wow, she's all about her. She's loud and likes to be patted on the back. I'm so not like that.
Oh, that sounds like somebody I know.
Just ask her if her elbow hurts.
In my family.
Oh, Lord. Let's see what else. Teeny, it's fantastic. I feel that way with Katie and Trish and Michelle and Beth. They are pure. Marie, you all 3 are amazing, and it works.
It does work. We're very, very blessed, and we know it.
Wanda, Loretta is always doing something for somebody.
Isn't she? Isn't she? Wanda and Loretta are related.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they've known each other always.
Let's see what else do we know. Kimberly Nolan, I learned with a friend who likes to give to me that if I say no, it steals her joy. You know what? I have learned that with my mother. Because when I got back, not only did I put my house on the market, which blah blah blah, that's the long story. She stayed with me while I was back, and she has had a rough couple years. And her joy is, let's go out, I'll buy you lunch. Do you need some money? Do you need this? It's like, Mom, no, I'm fine. Well, I just want to do it. And it's like, Mom, it's your money. Keep it. And she goes, but that brings me joy. It makes me happy. And it's like, all right, here's my bank account. I'll save it for you down the road. But for her, that's all she's able to do. So I had to go and retrain my brothers. It's like, look, if Mom gives you money, it makes her happy. Let her do it. She wants to take you to lunch. She wants to give you $500 for whatever. Just let her do it.
Absolutely. Tough lessons to learn. See you later, Marie.
Bye, Marie. Give Bill a hug.
Loretta, give him a big old sloppy kiss for me.
Loretta is a nurturing human. Yes. She is. And it does make her happy.
And this has happened recently in Deanna too. So we usually, on the way to work, we drive through Chevron, who has the best sodas in town, fountain sodas. And I usually am driving, and so I just, put my card or the cash. I have a little...
you got a mosquito on your neck.
Ooh.
Here you go.
Yeah. And I'm right there, and I have this little compartment in my vehicle that raises up, and I keep a little bit of cash in there for drinks or snacks. And so I usually pay. And so when they get out their credit card to pay, I'm like, I was doing that, and they're like, let me do it when I can.
Yes.
And so I've had to learn again, accept, say thank you, and move forward. They just want to be happy to do something the same way I do.
Mm-hmm.
I usually cover the expenses because it's for work, and so I feel like, they're doing this to help me. I should do this and do this, but that isn't always how it goes. So let your friends speak their own love language. If you don't know what it is, pay attention. There actually is a book about love languages. I have not read it. A friend of mine, 5 love languages. 5 or 7?
5. Well, unless they've changed it since back then.
Unless they updated it and gave us 2 more.
Exactly.
I haven't read it, but friends have and have told me about it. So get to know your friend's love language. Actually, get to know your own love language. I love giving. Not because I'm a great person, not because I'm better than anybody else. It just makes me happy. So like when I give...
That's because you're a giver.
Like a roll of ribbon on a live, or gave somebody a live stream or whatever. Yo, I do that as much for me as for you.
Now we do draw the line...
It makes me happy.
At her giving her kidney. We really would have to vet that one because... yeah.
Okay, that's a la Damon, because he found out that somebody was trying to build a relationship with me, and he messaged Jesse and said, Jesse, tell your mom be careful. I have experience with this person. I understand. Just tell her be careful because your mom. She'll give her kidney.
Yep.
And so ever since then, they make a joke about the kidney. But it's true. However,
but y'all know her too, so you all would agree with that.
Have I not gotten better? I've always had a problem saying no. I'm getting better. Say yes.
Check with me after TDR.
Oh my God. TDR don't count. This is
Oh.
Cowgirl Rides Away and the Queen Gives Away event, because it's my last TDR. So there's a lot to give. That don't count.
And us little peasants are down here. Bread for the home, or home for however
it's for the poor.
Yes. And Dre's up here going, here for you, and here's something for you.
They make fun of me. The Oprah thing? They're like, and you get a car, and you get a car. I wish I could. I really, really wish I could. I could tell you if I ever won the lottery, I would be a giver. Even more.
If she ever won the lottery, she'd be broke the next day.
But I do believe in this. If you are blessed, you should bless. If you don't, I don't know. Are you giving for a reason? Do you give only publicly? Do you give from your heart and do it as well privately? Because it's not that public giving that gets you 100-fold. It's that private, it's that secret person of the heart giving that gives you 100-fold. And sometimes, I'll do something for somebody like the other night, and Jesse's like, Mom, you've got to learn to say no. Stop it. You just have to. You got to pay the light bill just like anybody else. I know, but.
That is true.
But and then, without knowing what this person had been through, and I did give something to them. And sometimes I react without thinking it through. So I do, they are right. I do need to do that. However, then she wrote back the most incredible thank you. And I had no idea all the struggles she's been through and how this one little thing that I did made a difference to her. Mm-hmm. And she's excited and she has something to look forward to. And I thought, thank you, God. Thank you. For allowing me not to think at that moment and just do. So, but that was secretly done. Nobody knows it but me, her, and Jesse and Deanna. But that's it, because they were here when it happened.
Linda, you just will have to change it up and do it in a different way. You'll figure it out. She says, I'm a giver and it's killing me just now. That's because I lost my job. I can't do what I normally would.
I've been through that.
Giving
I lost my home
money and stuff.
Giving isn't about things. If all you can give is
a phone call, a text.
Yeah, that's right. An ear to listen, a smile to a stranger. That's all you have to do, Linda. That's it. That matters sometimes more than anything physical you can do for somebody.
That lasts a lifetime.
Yes, it does. And that might be the only smile they got that day. Mm-hmm. That might be the only thank you, ma'am. That might be the only sweet conversation they had with anybody that day, especially in the retail world, right? Or at a doctor's office or whatever. That's all you got to do.
I get that, Mike.
And then when you're able to give later in a physical sense, materially, you can do it.
Hey, if you're a crafter and you have something that you could craft, and sometimes just doing that can make their day. There's different ways to do it. And you see people that give, whether it's money or they're giving this or giving that. Not all of us are in that position. And not all of us are usually, yes, we're givers, but not to like Dre's degree of giving.
My degree shrunk a lot in the last year for financial reasons. When we stopped getting money and when our business was suffering, all this due to COVID, that was painful for me because I wanted to do more. Deanna's the same way. She wants to do more. But we have to make sure our bills are paid first.
Yeah, that goes first regardless, no matter what.
But, so sometimes we go through periods of that. Linda, don't feel bad. I already know what kind of a person you are.
But I also know that if I'm on my last dollar and it's like, okay, this is what I got to pay, and something comes along, and this person might mention something and be like, man, I just, I wish I could. I just, my last dollar, it's got to go here. And then you get this feeling down in your gut that God's telling you do it. And they'll be like, oh man, do I have to?
But I wanted a soda.
I know, right? But then it's like you do it and, God directs you to do it. I do it.
Then you get your blessing.
And then do you not know in the mail? Okay, I'll give you a perfect example.
Here we go. I love examples.
Okay, sold my house, right? Okay, I had an idea of what the profit would be because the realtor and I sat down. We said, okay, this is the number you're going to get. Well, because it's me and I'm by myself, family's always busy. Some of the family is not physically able to do this, so I had to hire packers and movers. So I get the packers one day, and you don't want to hear that story because it'll take a week. And then the movers come the next day. Well, in the middle of the movers, the packers didn't get finished, so they sent extra people the next day So instead of having 4 people at my house moving stuff, I had 7. And they kept wanting to raise what they quoted me, and I kept telling them
big chunks of money,
big chunks of change. And it's like, dude, you did it. You underestimated. I'm not doing it. This is what you said. This is what I'm paying. And do you not know that when I sold my house, the extra that was for the moving and the packers was included in my profit that I was not expecting? And if that wasn't a blessing, I don't know what was. Mm-hmm. So I was covered on that because I was faithful in what I was doing. Might have been a little baby at times. Stood my grounds, but yeah. So that was awesome. What are you doing over there?
Nothing.
You're doing something. I saw that little key get thrown away.
Yeah, lock it.
Yeah,
huh? So, being friends is an awesome blessing. Allowing our friends to be who they are without judgment, allowing them to receive their joy through us if need be, through their giving, or in ways that we're like, oh, but I know Deanna's trying to save for a house. I should not be letting her buy me lunch.
Stop it.
She wouldn't buy me lunch if she didn't want to, and it gives her... By the way, are you buying me lunch today? No. I just thought I'd throw that in. I'm just kidding, y'all. But it's just an example, because that has actually happened, and I'm like, no. And she's like, Dre, let me do it when I can do it. Yeah. So we do need to allow them to show us that they care about us in the ways that fits with them, and not direct their every step. I mean, y'all, the Bible says we can't even direct our own step. What business do we have directing someone else's, really?
Well, we do direct ours, and that's why it gets rerouted all the time.
We tried to anyway, right?
Rerouting.
Detouring.
Yes, it is, Bobby.
And our friendships and relationships with you guys is the same as if we were in person. We have an interchange of encouragement here. The difference is we're not in each other's, for lack of a better word, inner circle, right?
It's a different inner circle.
But we can show each other that we care by listening, you guys by communicating, and us interchanging love, friendship, encouragement. That's what it's all about. That's what Coffee with Dre is all about. We can celebrate the good times with one another, and we can support one another in the not so great times, even in our social media friendships. It's up to us how we do it, but do beware. I did that earlier. Virginia. Beware when it's online, because you just have to pay more attention, right? And be careful not to be too sensitive to comments. You know, when I'm not a good typer anyway. And when I'm using my little phone and I'm messaging back with somebody, it's usually pretty short because I can't type that good. And I want to respond. And so sometimes, it hasn't happened lately, I'm just using this example. Sometimes what you say or don't say in the typewritten word or the messages can be misunderstood. So think about what you're saying and how it may be perceived on the other end. Friendships are worth the effort. They really, really are. And the time. And friends will understand this fact. Sometimes you truly don't have it to give. Mm-hmm. Usually it's family or work, right? And they'll be patient. But you need to do the same. Be patient with them and understanding of them and their limitations at times. Love you all. Thank you for joining us this morning. I know I learned a lot this morning. I hope you all did as well. I hope you got some encouragement.
And I already knew it all, so there. I mean, just kidding.
Oh my gosh. We will keep those of you who asked, yes, and those of you who mentioned things this morning.
Teeny, we keep you in our prayers too.
Who did?
And even the ones that don't ask for it, we keep y'all.
All Crafters Convention 2020. Wow, that wasn't that long ago, really, in the grand scheme, right? And yet it was a long time ago. You'll never give up your power.
Wait, what are you doing today? What are you doing today that they can come back and see you when?
Oh, at 3 o'clock today at Ranch House Reese and More here on this page, I will be live. I believe I will be creating candy canes. I'm not 100% sure. Depends on what's, waiting for me when I get there. And then if you're a Can-Am VIP member, tonight, Lori, Michelle, and I will be live at 7 for our weekly chit-chat. But until then, always, never give up that power to be those amazing people you can be. Be that friend, leave yourself open to friendships. They're really worth it. And it's been proven that we need them. In particular, women do. We live longer, healthier lives with friends in them. Did you know that?
Hold on. Sherry McKee, have another answered prayer. I got my disability approved, and thankfully I can get my eyes fixed.
Oh, thank you,
from
Jesus.
cataracts. Love prayers report, y'all.
I do.
Sherry, go put that in the power to be you too, so we can get some praise reports going in there. Please.
Keep that power.
Yes.
Use that power. It's yours. Nobody else's. Just yours. You get to use it how you want. Use it for good. For you. And always, always, always choose joy, y'all. Bye. And thanks for joining me. Enjoyed you guys this morning.